Hello sir, this is Ahmed Ashraf from Team Pipeline Predators. So this is an overview of our code. First, we used the language JavaScript instead of Java to make use of the classes and objects in the JavaScript. Okay, so our project is divided into two parts: components and controllers. For the components part, we have the buffers, data memory, instruction and instruction memory, which is an array of instructions, the register and the register file. The register files two arrays, one for the FB registers and one for the R registers. We also have the reservation station and the reservation station element. For the controllers, they act as the stages. So we have the issue stage, we have the execute, and we have the publish result. Also, we have two other files. One is common.js. Here we initialize everything. So we create a register file and the stations and the rest of the components of the project to test the algorithm. Here in the register file and the FP register, we just set each register with its number. So register F0 will have the value 0, F1 will have the value 1, F2 will have the value 2, F3 will have the value 3, and so on. This is just for testing birds. And also the address 32 on the data memory, we store in it the value 20. Then we export each of the components and import them in the index.js. So here index.js, the most important thing is this array. This is array of the instructions. The instruction should be inserted in this format. So the opcode and the registers. Okay. We don't need commas, we just split on the spaces. Okay, so this is an example for load, this is an example for store. These are examples for the add, subtract, multiply, and divide. For tracing, we print each of the components to see which values are changed, and in each iteration or each clock cycle we start by start clock cycle and end clock cycle. So the clock cycles will be what happens in the clock cycle will be between these two lines. So to run this we use JavaScript, so we call node index.js. Of course, we navigate here the directory of the project and run node index.js. There is no need for npm I or these things. So here this was the end of cycle 10. Okay, this is the output of the this is start of cycle 1. Here we issued the instruction 0. These are the register file values. We have the FP registers and R registers. Here are the reservation station of add and subtract, because the tag here is A0, A1, A2. Here is the reservation station of multiplication and division. Their tags also are M0, M1, and M2. These reservation stations or buffers are for store S0, S1 till S4. Also we have the load buffers. And finally we print the data memory and we end cycle 1. So each cycle, what happens in each cycle will be in between the start and end cycle I. So here, for example, again in cycle 2 we issued instruction 1, executed instruction 0. Here are the register file values, the reservation stations as discussed before, and the data memory, and we end cycle 2. So the program has just finished in 10 cycles for these instructions. So if you want to test, you should add your instructions in this array and just run node index.js. Thank you.